Hey everybody, Sparrow Song Entertainment here with Nerd Caliber, and we're at Megacon 2018. With Avengers Infinity 4 crushing the box office today, we'll be asking cosplayers what they would do if they had the Infinity Gauntlet. So what would you do with the Infinity Gauntlet?
Obviously, I would rule the galaxy.
So if you had the power of the Infinity Gauntlet, what would you do with it? I'd bring back Peter Parker. Poor little baby. So we're asking the question today, if you had the Infinity Gauntlet, what would you do with it?
Intergalactic peace.
I would protect it.
Sow the seeds of rebellion.
So if you had the Infinity Gauntlet, what would you do with it?
I would give everybody tacos. What do you mean? Fried fish tacos, man. Those are the best ones. That's it. I snap my finger, tacos everywhere.
So if you had the Infinity Gauntlet, what would you do with it?
Sweets everywhere. Everywhere. And Nuka-Cola for everybody. Mostly Nuka-Cola.
So if you had the Infinity Gauntlet, what would you do with it?
Put an AC inside this here because it's very hot.
So if you snapped your finger, theoretically speaking, you could get rid of the entire Upside Down because you have the Infinity Gauntlet. You can do whatever you wanted, right?
If you had the Infinity Gauntlet, what would you do with it?
If I had the Infinity Gauntlet, I'd probably end the world too in 4 simple shots.
I wouldn't mind getting more booze, you know what I'm saying?
So today we're asking people what they would do if they had the Infinity Gauntlet.
Funny you should ask. I would make everyone laugh at all of my jokes.
So if you had the Infinity Gauntlet, what would you do with it?
If I had the Infinity Gauntlet, I'd probably just beat the hell out of Han so I could get my Falcon back, because he messed up the Falcon, man. I want it in good condition. Like, come on.
Just go and use it to mess with my friends and family, basically. Just go and play a lot of practical jokes on them, you know, stuff like that.
I would use the Infinity Gauntlet to change the universe to where all the souls are mine. Expand it to where there's more, and I become more powerful myself.
So Thor, what would you do if you had the Infinity Gauntlet?
Well, I would turn back time, bring everybody back. We don't want to see Spider-Man and all those guys fading out, so bring everybody back.
If you had the power of the Infinity Gauntlet, what would you do?
I think I would make every day April 25th and bring about world peace.
That would be harsher violation punishment for parole violators.
So if you had the Infinity Gauntlet, what would you do with it, Moana?
I would probably use it to continue to protect Tafiti and just make sure that my people are okay.
If you had the Infinity Gauntlet, what would you do with it?
I think that I would have to use it to erase all the Deadpools, so half the con would cease to exist, and then we'd have perfect balance.
So if you had the Infinity Gauntlet, what would you do with it?
What's an Infinity Gauntlet?
You don't know what an Infinity Gauntlet is? Have you been living under a rock?
Not technically.
So what would you do if you had the Infinity Gauntlet?
I would use my DNA to come back all the time and never die.
So if you had the Infinity Gauntlet, what would you do with it?
Obviously, I would get rid of the Empire because, you know, peace for the galaxy.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
I would end Teen Titans Go. It's an abomination.
So what would you do if you had the Infinity Gauntlet?
Are spoilers allowed?
Of course.
Okay, spoiler alert. I would reverse Thanos' cruel plan to destroy half of the living beings in the universe. Pretty obvious.
You're a kind soul.
Well, you know, Steve's a good guy.
I'd be a little more selfish. I would use the Reality Stone and just kind of be wherever I want at all times.
So if you had the Infinity Gauntlet, what would you do with it?
Oh man, I would turn back time and go to 1980s Miami and just kind of live that dream and see what all that's like.
If you had the Infinity Gauntlet, what would you do with it?
I would take down Ray Finkel.
Ray Finkel. Well, there you have it, folks. Thanks so much for joining us here for Megacon 2018. I'm Sparrow Song Entertainment with Nerd Caliber. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe for more of our content. Bye-bye.